Thank you for joining me for this weekly devotional. I'm Pastor Brian, the lead pastor at Kailua Methodist Church. We're coming upon the celebration of Ash Wednesday, which is the beginning of the season that we prepare for Easter Sunday, the resurrection of Jesus, that we call in the church Lent. It's ironic that we use the word celebration in connection to Ash Wednesday, because it doesn't feel like a celebration. And there's things like confession, and we take the ashes and we put it on people's foreheads and we say, "You are dust, and to dust you shall return." Morbid, if anything, is a better way to describe it. But the Christian journey is not always easy. Just past Sunday, we talked about forming habits, holy habits, and habits are hard, especially the ones that, often are better for us. Eating healthy, waking up in the morning to work out. They just take energy and discipline. The Christian journey takes discipline too. It's one of the reasons why we have the season, Lent. It's to choose a discipline to help us in our journey to follow Jesus. I know many of us think of Lent as the time when we give up chocolate or stop eating this or do something like that, a fast, food-wise. And that's part of it, because Jesus himself did prayer and fasting for 40 days and 40 nights in the wilderness, and the Israelites wandered for 40 years. So lots of connotation to fasting and prayer and preparation. But giving up is not the goal. The goal is the transformation, which, let's be honest, we've given up a lot over 2020 and 2021 with the pandemic. So what are we going to take on that's going to help us grow in our faith? If you haven't done so already, I invite you to get the book Lent for Everyone, written by N.T. Wright. It's going to go through the entire Gospel of Mark. There's going to be a small section each day. And then Saturdays we'll give you a psalm so you can have a time of rest in the scripture, the beauty of that scripture. But that might not be the only way that you discipline yourself. What are you going to take on? What are you going to give up throughout this journey? I know one of the things that I plan to take on is I have a regular habit of waking up in the morning and opening up the news. Well, throughout Lent, I already decided, I found the book that I'm going to do, which is by Robert Outler, and it's a new translation of the Old Testament, meant to be read out loud. And so I have the Audible book, and I'm planning to be listening to that in the mornings when I wake up before my kids for a devotional time. I want to invite you to some sort of holy habit, learning to follow Christ more fully. Because that's the hope, right? And remember that we are dust, and to dust we shall return. But it's out of the dust that God makes beautiful things. Adam and Eve were made out of the dust. You and I were made out of the dust. And let's hope through the dust of the global pandemic that God can do something new in us, in you. I invite you to pray with me. Holy and gracious God, stir in us a commitment to a habit throughout this Lent journey as we prepare ourselves for Easter. That throughout this season, you might change our hearts, change our lifestyles to embody you more fully in the world. We give you thanks for this difficult but good time where you transform us by your grace and by your love and through this journey. Amen. If you haven't done so, get Lent for Everyone book. Don't forget Ash Wednesday service, 6 p.m. drive-in and online. And otherwise, we'll see you at 9:30 a.m. on Sunday morning. And until then, have a blessed week.